We've been betrayed! The forces from Gra have turned and attacked us from behind!
What? Are you sure, man?
Yes, it was so sudden that our forces were completely overwhelmed. I'm sorry, sire.
Curse those Grand traitors! I'll make them suffer from this!
Hi everybody, you're listening to Draw Game, the show that asks, what if video games could be on your TV? I am your host, Alex Fraioli, and joining me as always, the man formerly known as Harvey Fire Emblem, Ray Barnholt.
Hello, Alex. I'm ready to die for you and never come back till you reload the save.
No? Okay, yeah, good, alright. I did save just before we did this, so go nuts.
Alrighty. Here I go.
We're talking about Fire Emblem.
We are indeed today, here on Draw Game.
Okay. This was an interesting one for me because I don't think I've ever played a Fire Emblem. I've played a lot of Smash Brothers. I've not played an actual Fire Emblem.
You never did. And you were kind of into these games.
Yeah, well, I was a Shining Force kid, you know?
Yeah.
And as we know, you're only legally allowed to play one.
Right.
It's like Star Wars and Star Trek. You can only like one thing.
You were drafted into the Sega army. That's how it works, you know.
Yes!
Pledge your allegiance to the nation of Sega.
Yes! Oh, I lost half of my platoon to the Blast Corps.
Because you relied on blast processing, and it didn't work.
That's right. We put our faith in a lie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, didn't they have a Shining Force anime, but it was like based on one of the later iterations of it?
Oh, did they? I don't remember.
Where the hentai artist did all the character designs, though, that era of Shining. Yeah,
oh,
whatever.
Fun.
Yeah, all the newer Shining games that are not related to anything before it. So yeah.
Jerking Force? All right.
Fire Emblem. Pure Nintendo goodness today on the show. We're talking about Fire Emblem, the OVA, the anime, known in Japan as Fire Emblem Monsho no Nazo, based on the game Fire Emblem Monsho no Nazo. Monsho no Nazo, which also means Mystery of the Emblem. Or you can call it Fire Monsho Emblem no Nazo.
I can't help but think you're making that up. That last one.
It's accurate, isn't it? This was released in 1994 for the Super Famicom. It gets a little weird here. So this was the third released game in the series, though I guess canonically it is the second, since the last one was Fire Emblem Gaiden and has like a different setting and characters and stuff. But this was the first one for Super Famicom, but it is actually also both a remake of the first one and a sequel.
Oh, fun.
So I believe the fan translators called this Book 1 and Book 2. So I didn't think we'd be talking
books.
I didn't think we'd be talking about books again so soon after East. But here we are at Fire Emblem.
Oh, boy.
The first part of that game, Monsho no Nazo, is a retelling of Fire Emblem 1, the original one for the old Famicom. And then there is a second part that is actually the new stuff, the sequel stuff, the Monsho no Nazo. But yeah, we're already getting in the weeds. I'm sorry, but let's talk a little bit about Fire Emblem. Sorry, I had a hay fever and a little bit of Guinness before we started. So,
oh dear, two things I try to avoid.
Well, yes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Fire Emblem here because some of you may not know. But it is a Nintendo franchise. The first game, though, the first few games, I suppose, takes place on the continent of Akanea and tells the tale of Prince Marth, whose kingdom is invaded, and then he flees to the kingdom of Talus. And these first couple games are about him trying to find the legendary Falchion sword and ultimately defeat, an evil-looking guy with a dark face, and he has a hood, so that's how you know, named the Dark Dragon Medeus.
Oh, so, wait, is this the same one from Boo Amadeus Halloween?
No, I'm afraid not. But
all right,
both played by F. Murray Abraham.
Hey, all right.
So that is the nutshell version of it because Fire Emblem is pretty big. Fire Emblem, of course, being Nintendo's fantasy tactics sibling, to Famicom Wars, or Advance Wars as we knew it here first. Fire Emblem prided itself, though, on being kind of a very difficult strategy game that's like not your daddy's RPG or whatever. I mean, and this is 1990 on Famicom. This is kind of like a weird time to be like challenging people in such a way as Nintendo. I mean, the defining feature, as many of us know, is permadeath, where if you let a character in your party die, they are for reals gone. And it's like, oh, they were another character's spouse? Oh, you needed them to attain certain victory? Oh, too bad. You better reload the save. And you don't get a few turns to revive them, like in Final Fantasy Tactics. So,
yeah.
Start over.
I've always kind of been a video game perfectionist, and I think that's why I gravitated towards RPGs as a kid, because I like to be able to take my time. And as long as I take my time, I can grind enough money for whatever, or level high enough to beat whatever. And that's why I only discovered the series late, but one of the things that did keep me from getting into Fire Emblem was the permadeath, because the idea, there's no bigger fuck you in a video game than permadeath. And the concept of, hey, all that time you just invested, we're going to invalidate it. It's gone now. I hate that. I appreciated it. You mentioned FFT. I like that one at least gave you a few turns before your character crystallized, and then it was time to reset. I was a Shining Force kid where even if somebody, quote unquote, died, maybe they were out of commission for a battle, but they came back.
Yeah, they fainted.
Permadeath just does not jive with my idea of a cozy game.
Yeah, and that is probably why Nintendo of America did not see fit to localize the games in English for a very long time.
Oh, right.
It seems that, they had enough of a problem trying to sell Dragon Warrior, and then, they also skipped out on the original Super Mario Brothers 2. And those times. So, and 1990, 91, kind of a weird time for Nintendo of America anyway, because NES was giving way to the Super NES. I mean, they had also passed on releasing Earthbound, the original Earthbound. So not a good time for RPGs, even though like a year prior to that it was. And then they did Final Fantasy. They kept going with Final Fantasy, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Japan was eating good, and we were getting the table scraps.
Yeah.
I mean, we were still getting, DQ1 and FF1 were fine, but I think maybe if we did get Fire Emblem on the NES, I would have at least rented or tried it, and maybe that would have gotten me to, persevere a little bit. But, I mean, discovered it too late, I guess, is my problem.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of...
And I have many problems.
You wonder why if they even considered just, like, taking out the permadeath. For an English version.
I think you could probably cleverly localize around that. Just like, they've been injured and they're out of commission for the rest of the game.
Well, no, not even like the death element of it. Just the fact that you lose the character. Like, what if you didn't lose the character? I don't know. And obviously it takes an engineering and design effort there that they probably weren't willing to do. But I was just wondering.
I mean, it was a different time too. Let's not forget how brutal it was back then. I mean, if you had a fire flower and you took a hit, you went right back down to small Mario. Right, it was a tough time.
Unless you jumped on the axe just as you touched Bowser at the same time.
That's right.
Then you could be small Fire Mario.
I've never done that.
So anyway, Fire Emblem was a no-show here for a long time. I would say it took until both Advance Wars came out and Super Smash Bros. Melee the same year, essentially. Because Melee features Marth for them to decide that, okay, maybe gamers are ready for this now. And Melee, I think, forced their hand a little bit. And so a couple years after that, when the then newest games in the Fire Emblem series for Game Boy Advance were ready to go, they came out here. And those are actually not related to the first games or the Marth stuff at all, but, still Fire Emblem games. And so there you go. And, of course, we know the story by now. It is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and it is still getting new entries every so often. And I think in some way we have Smash Brothers creator Masahiro Sakurai to thank, because he put him in Melee, and there was no getting around that when it came time to localize those games. So, yeah. If I may add, also, I think all of the Fire Emblem fans of the games are obsessed freaks. I have not found one normal Fire Emblem fan.
I think that there's definitely a correlation between the popularity of something in Japan versus its presence outside of Japan. And I think depending on how drastic that relationship is, that's how you get wacky fans like Earthbound, like Mother,
Yeah.
especially Mother 2, very popular in Japan. Did get obviously a Western release, was a cult hit, and now the fans are some of the most insane people on the planet. Fire Emblem, I think, had a similar trajectory where it enjoyed some success in Japan, and then it's some modest success in America. But that's how you prove that you're a super fan, is you like this Japanese thing.
Well, at least some of those insane Earthbound fans channeled their insanity into like Fangamer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can be productive with it, certainly.
And I don't know what to say about the Fire Emblem fans. I think it's just a bunch of people making their fan works and just obsessing over the lore and everything, and just being like, playing those games over and over and over again. And I get it. Yeah, I get it. I can't relate to it.
Yeah, I can't get mad at Fire Emblem fans because I'm kind of the same way with Suikoden 1 and 2 at least. Okay. Where they didn't really make much of a splash in America, but boy, I love the lore of the first two games, and I like to lose myself in that setting.
Oh yeah, and hey, on that note, Draw Game Bulletin. I think we learned that the Suikoden anime is coming out in October.
Oh, so in time for Halloween Spooky.
Yes,
Spooky Den.
Well, as soon as they release 4 episodes of that, we will watch it and let you know.
All right, cool.
We'll be as we will be as topical as possible on Draw Game. Don't worry about that.
Wait, would that be a Draw Game Type S? Are they planning to release a dub?
I don't know.
We are like unequivocally boycotting AI dubs, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yeah, we're not fucking with that shit.
No, I have no idea how it's going to work, but it is at least Japanese for now.
All right.
So yes, that's a little bit about Fire Emblem. I cannot.
Oh my God.
Even if I wasn't drinking, I would have slurred it. Okay. I am just that stupid. That is a little bit about Fire Emblem.
Flabberlumblem.
Flemalem.
Ramalem?
Now let's talk about the anime, which is also called Fire Emblem. Or in Japanese again, yes, Fire Emblem Monsho no Nazo, based on Fire Emblem Monsho no Nazo. It was released in 2 episodes in 1996, January and April in Japan, from the publisher KSS. That's right. Keep it simple, stupid.
Mwah.
It was mainly produced by an anime studio called Studio Fantasia. Wow, fitting name, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, they did that. They're no longer with us. They were around from 1983 to 2017. So I went through their credits, and they have many more credits that are just subcontractor work than they do as main production. So maybe that can tell you a little bit about how they fared in the business overall. Maybe a little bit more about how they fared with this OVA. Their big early works, though, were the 3rd and 4th Project A-ko movies, which I believe were also OVAs, so they got into that pretty early. And then right after Fire Emblem came out, they made the Aika, or Agent Aika series, which, if you're not familiar with this, it was an action-y secret agent franchise with an all-female cast that exclusively wore skirts and heels. And so they took every opportunity for panty shots. That is the number one defining feature of that show franchise.
Of course.
Gratuitous panty shots at every corner.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with the name of the studio, but this is very, like, the style of this anime is, if you walked into a Borders bookstore in 1998 and you went to the art section and you picked out a book called How to Draw Japanimation, that's this. This is quintessential. Here's how to copy this art style from Japan. It's very, very standard anime eyes, triangle mouths. It's what you think of when you think of anime. It's not a particular style, really, other than just bog standard anime. Like, even Evangelion had a little bit of a style. You know, Toriyama, obviously, DBZ had a style. This is just kind of like, yeah, it's anime. You guys like anime, right?
Yeah, it's very vanilla. But I would also say the original Fire Emblem games also had kind of a vanilla anime look to them. They were also very deliberately like typical anime/manga style characters in those games, rendered in both,
sure,
you know, the manual and in the game themselves. And so I think that's also where some of the insane fans come from, is kind of like this anime parlaying of crazy fandom, because they sort of like the attractive anime people, vanilla attractive, which of course, you know, turned into like what I think really turned to like the modern Fire Emblem fandom here, which is where people got so obsessed when the reboot series came out, 3DS Awakening and all that, and it got super popular, and it just became about like dating sim elements and things. Like they kept inserting in the actual games. Like Nintendo was making these games and like putting in little romance gameplay gimmicks in there to like just feed on people's you know insatiable hunger for this
Yeah,
thing.
I'm often very critical about this kind of thing because I have no interest in dating sims. I feel like it's one of the most profound wastes of time you can do with a video game. So when I see those features, I don't want to say crammed into, but like as you said, like there's still a Fire Emblem game in there. Like there's still actual
Right.
compelling gameplay.
I'm not saying it's even that serious.
Why are you diluting it with a dating sim? Like the rest of this game looks really fun, and now you got me worried. Like, all right, one of these girl chants is going to give me a better bonus, so I have to look up the specific things I need to say to woo her.
Right, and now it's all about waifus and husbandos, and
yeah,
it's a little bit diluted, like you said. Although I do exaggerate using the term dating sim. I don't really mean it that way. It was like I recall the one of the final 3DS ones had like a thing where you are touching your beloved's face and stuff with the touchscreen and stuff like that, and
ugh.
They make romantic reactions and stuff like that.
Oh, DS Chan.
But I also exaggerate because those games always had an element of relationships, because you do get characters who will actually just like join up. You can just put them next to each other and then they can start like a little romance thing. And that will indeed, of course, have real gameplay benefits.
Sure. I'll say this. I don't mind it when games do implement hidden affection systems, like the way that FF7 does the gold saucer date. I don't mind there being invisible systems in place. I think that's interesting, but I think doing it all through menus is very straightforward and boring.
Well, I think it's at least clever if you think about where it all began on like the Famicom and stuff. Like it is at least clever to integrate that.
Oh yeah,
in those early days, and then sort of like make that a fundamental part of the gameplay of Fire Emblem. I think it gets a little bit crazy when you are adding like this modern day sort of waifu type element of it, like you're using the touchscreen to touch faces and things like that, and really build a relationship with characters who let's just say don't look all too adult.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't need that kind of like in-depth partner system. I like I think some of the Suikoden games do this, or I know there's a bunch of games RPGs that do this, but like the hero will have some kind of like super final attack, and the girl Chan that shows up to cameo in that attack is the one that has been in your party the most hours out of any of them. I think that's kind of cute when they do that. Right. Like I said, I like when that kind of stuff is more under the hood.
Yeah. I guess just to nip it in the bud here, I just think it's like, well, it's obvious that Fire Emblem is very anime influenced. We'll just put it that way.
Yes.
And it's not so surprising that they made an OVA based on it.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that this is a rare Nintendo anime in the 90s, mind you, when that was not really a thing, unless it was like Mario tapes for children, or like that first Mario animated feature, which was not that good. But yeah, Nintendo anime was just not a thing for a long time. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Ray, Pokemon? And, well, yeah, but this came a year before that Pokemon anime aired. And Pokemon has several guardians, not just Nintendo. It is not just a Nintendo thing. Many companies are involved in the creation of Pokemon. We know that. We should know that. Some of you should know that. Everybody wants to attribute Pokemon to Nintendo still today, even though there is a company called the Pokemon Company that still facilitates the development of all those games. But okay, whatever. I just want you to consider, though, that interesting pocket of time before Pokemon hit America and finally made anime cool, where somehow ADV, that's who dubbed this, by the way, ADV Films, somehow ADV got an OVA based on a Nintendo franchise that wouldn't be in English until like 2 Game Boys from then.
the standard unit of time in Japan.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
As mentioned. So I just think that is like especially interesting. This little pocket of time there where there was no other real Nintendo anime other than like Kitty Mario stuff that was not meant to go outside Japan in the first place. I mean, it would take a few more years. I mean, into the 2000s, past the GBA and GameCube times, for Nintendo anime to really kick into high gear, and we would get stuff like the Kirby show, F-Zero. There's an Animal Crossing movie. What?
Sorry, when you say the Kirby show, my mind does not conjure up an anime. It conjures up anime like behind Conan's desk, like in a suit, interviewing Ron Perlman.
Okay. Yes.
Did you catch the Kirby show last night?
That would be a thing. Yeah. Hey, if Kirby swallowed Conan, that would happen.
He'd have the hair, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be pretty great.
That's an easy fan art for somebody. But as we were just discussing, I think Fire Emblem might be the most anime of them all, since the art style always had that quality, like I said. And they eventually would just be putting anime cutscenes into the games. And so, yeah, anime and Fire Emblem are like peanut butter and chocolate. And yet, this show, I don't know. But then, of course, we have the recent Franco anime, Super Mario Brothers Le Film.
Ooh, wee.
Super Mario Galaxy Le Film coming out soon. But yes, I was just saying, it's kind of a funny time for Nintendo anime here with Fire Emblem, this sort of outlier from that time. We are watching the ADV Films dub from 1998, I believe, 1997 or 98 it was released here. It had both episodes on one VHS at a suggested retail price of $19.99.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
It has a great tagline on the box. I can't believe Nintendo never used this. One young hero, a legendary sword. The forces of evil are in serious trouble. By the way, Alex, did the sword even come up in this?
Very briefly. It came up in the beginning before his dad ate shit. His dad was just like, I'm fine. Right. I have the sword Falcion. And then he just dies and the sword's never mentioned again.
Yeah, they say the word Falcion. Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is nice and dubbed.
Yeah. It's, I will say this. So as an ADV dub, I immediately recognized a lot of these actors from Evangelion. In fact, I went over the cast. Of the 26 actors used, 25 showed up in Evangelion.
Wow.
Marth stands out as the most obvious. He is voiced by Spike Spencer, who played Shinji Ikari. The only one not in Evangelion is a voice actor named Rob Mungall, who plays Oguma.
He was on The Daily Show, right?
Yes, good memory.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, everyone's fine. So some of the performances are more anime than others. Spike Spencer putting in a good performance as Marth. There's a lot of physical exertion stuff.
Really? Okay. Well, we'll talk about it.
No, yeah. I mean, for his voice type and size, I mean, I assume from his voice, Spike Spencer is not a humongous man.
Yeah.
You know, he sounds about the size of Shinji Ikari. He does some pretty okay battle sounds and stuff like that. On the other hand, as we're going to hear later, there are quite a few crimes against accents that we'll play. I think at least 2 clips for that.
Sure. I just wouldn't map Shinji's voice to Marth, is what I'm saying. So.
No. I think, if you're going for like teenage protagonist, maybe. And you can even hear Spike Spencer is sort of, he's pitching it down a little bit. He's not going as high as when he does Shinji. He's doing it a little bit further down.
A little bit.
Which, but what that means is instead of sounding like a 14-year-old, he sounds like a 15-year-old.
Great,
I think Marth is supposed to be like 17, 18.
I was going to mention it, but I feel like Marth has a bit of a Doug Funny quality to his voice. And maybe that's, And I have not entirely seen the original Evangelion dub, so I don't know how Shinji sounds, but... Is he
never going to ask out Sheeta Mayonnaise?
I mean, that's what goes kind of going through my head.
Dear Journal, Roger Perma died today.
It's like Doug with a slight lisp.
Yeah, kind of. It kind of is.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Folks, you're going to have to check it out and see what I mean.
No. Legend of the Doug Dragon.
So, one last thing about this is that I feel like ADV doing this is sort of emblematic of a sort of thing we'll come across a few more times, I'm sure, is that This is an anime based on a game that was not yet released in this country, and in many other cases, never would be with other shows. But nevertheless, it was licensed, translated, and published here because Western anime labels, while they are purveyors of fine foreign cinema, are also looking for cheap action or sexy stuff to sell and keep the lights on. And all they need to do is write the words based on the hit video game on the box and just keep on moving.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened here. You do see this a lot less these days as things get more globalized and aligned strategically, but certainly in the 90s and I think through the mid 2000s, I would say, if I'm thinking right, like a lot of stuff was coming out here that was just based on games that would just like not show up.
Yeah. And this was 1998, you said.
Yeah.
And
thereabouts.
This was when ADV was kind of at the forefront of my life and anime in general. This is when I was getting into anime.
Yeah, for sure.
This is when I was going to the Suncoast at the mall and spending $30 for 2 episodes of Evangelion. I can't believe this was the MSRP was only $20. Was it just Suncoast gouging me for Evangelion? I mean, they're both from ADV. I don't know. Okay.
I think so.
Damn.
Well, also you think about ADV probably recognized that this was not going to have a lot of traction. So put it on the budget bracket.
Yeah.
Maybe the next time you go to Suncoast, you'll think, you know what? Maybe I will get that Fire Emblem. I've heard about it. Nintendo Power had a blurb about it.
I think at the same time, I also bought up a few Sorcerer Hunters VHSs, which I think was also an ADV job.
Bakuretsu Hunter, yes.
Yeah.
Was it ADV? Okay, yeah.
I don't remember.
I remember that, around quite a lot.
Oh, boy.
Yes, indeed. But yes, all right. So that is the rundown on Fire Emblem, the game and the anime.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, Alex.
Let's get into it. Fire Emblem. Turn on your family computer. Sit down with your family. It's necessary when using this hardware. I'm stalling while I pull up my document here. All right.
Oh, by the way, I should add, the first game was localized twice.
Oh.
Because there was originally the DS remake of the first game, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time it was localized by Nintendo. And then Nintendo made the original Famicom version another one of their limited time digital releases like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, because at the same time they released Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which was the original Famicom version, just as a standalone Switch game that just booted up the ROM with a new translation.
Oh, love a good ROM.
Yes. So they did eventually go back and give us the original after all these years.
Good. We deserve it.
Okay, you got that document pulled up?
I do. Thank you. Thank you for buying that time from the audience. Episode 1, Prince of Arish. Oh, hang on. Before we even get into this, and we're going to cover this, I believe, at the end as well. Was there supposed to be a continuation? Because this story does not wrap up. It's the first. I think in your notes you mentioned this is like the first few missions of the game.
Yeah, basically.
So don't expect for this to wrap up.
So I could not corroborate this necessarily, but it seems that this OVA was not finished unintentionally. I checked Japanese Wikipedia, not that it's any more reliable, but they had a thing about this, and they were saying something like, yes, any more episodes after the second were contingent on how it was received or how it performed or whatever. And so they just gave up after 2 episodes. And so we are kind of left hanging. But hey, 2 episodes, enough for a $20 VHS from ADV.
Oh, boy. All right.
Lovely.
So episode 1, Prince of Arisha. We cold open on, I believe this is a flashback of Marth, Jagan, and Marth's sister Ellis escaping from some sort of invasion. I think she sacrifices herself to cast a shield spell on them or something. It's not really clear.
Right. Well, there's a little bit also where we get the name of our protagonist from his sister.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just make this clear right now in this discussion.
Mars, take this.
Mars. Now,
yeah,
of course, we didn't have any games. We didn't have any determination that this was going to be Marth eventually.
That's right.
We're going with Mars.
Now, my notes still say Marth because I refuse to use Mars.
All right. Well, I just went with what the anime wants from it. So One's from me. So yeah.
No, I get that. I think for me, it's difficult if there's already a name that is like the canon localization. That's just what it is.
We used to figure it was Eris for a while too, right?
That's right. I still think I would still say Eris because Aerith she was Aerith in the original demo and then Eris for the release and now back to Aerith.
And I don't like Aerith.
I don't either because, if you played FF7 for 20 years like I did, calling her Eris, when you hear Aerith, it just sounds like somebody has a lisp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, I think.
It does not.
Go with what's natural.
This reminds me of, I used to stream retro achievements, fan-made achievements for retro games, and whoever made the achievement set for the original Phantasy Star, for some reason, very over-nerdedly decided to use the Japanese names of the characters.
Oh, no.
So, there's an achievement for getting the character Odin, who is the third character that you get, but the achievement says, achievement unlocked, recruit Tyrone. Like,
oh, God.
This character has an official, canonized, localized name, and it's Odin. Stop trying to be an ultra weeb and just call him by his fucking translated name. It's fine. That's how we know him.
Do you think they were basing their retro achievements on the fan translation because they were also so, stick up their butt about the whole thing?
Probably. I would say probably, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. All right. So
they were being chased by a mob.
Yeah. Ellis, I think, sacrifices herself to shield them. Whatever. That's the end of that. 2 years later, Marth and his gal pal Sheeta are listening to a bard sing about Henri the Great, who's some sort of hero of note, as we find out. Marth flashes back to his dad beating him for not killing a deer, and we learn that Marth is descended from Henri the Great.
Oh, yes, but oh my God. Yeah, we get the flashbacks of King Dad just being a jerk to Mars here a lot. Like, oh my God. But we also get a great, I can't imagine this was an intentional take.
I can't!
Mars!
Dude, no, come on. We got to choose. We got to choose one and stick with it. Melee's not out for 4 years.
Wait, play that again?
I can't!
Mars!
Wow. It's not clear on that first one. I think maybe he's trying to say Mars.
I think it's pretty clear. It's Marth and then Mars. And also, King Dad just has a crazy, weird voice at times. Anyway, like he's very overwrought with his speech. Where we get weird takes. I got another one later on, but don't worry. There's a flash forward in the flashback where King Dad just like wallops Marth and calls him.
What is this, Lost?
Calls him a pathetic weakling. Like, oh boy, the good old days of raising your children.
And then Ellis comes to his aid and is like, there, shut up, boy. You don't have to be an asshole like Dad. You could also be a nice king. And Mars is like, yeah, I guess.
Did you catch some of those lines were, not just pathetic weakling, but really crazy stuff like this.
That is some outfit. It makes you look like a homosexual.
Wow. Uncalled for.
He's a bad father.
I know. It's a child.
Once again, and I ask you this every episode, who's booing?
Alice. Clip? This time it's Alice.
Wow, she really puts on the deep voice to show her disdain.
And maybe some handsmaids, I don't know.
Okay. Boy, Marth had it tough. This poor kid.
Yeah, but he does snap out of this daydream / flashback, right, Alec?
Yes, he's back in the present, but his gal pal Sheeta is pissed that he was daydreaming while she was talking, and so she pouts until he impulsively throws her on a wagon full of hay, and they giggle and goof around, and it's fun.
That was a nice display of platonic friendship. Platonic love, you know what I mean? Marth. I feel like Marth is still, or Mars is still at his stage of anime protagonist evolution where he doesn't know what sex is yet. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think Sheeta's just past that point.
May I step back and play a clip of what struck me first is the Doug Fundiness.
You probably didn't hear a word I said, did you?
Sorry, but I'm listening now.
No. Again, I don't have experience with the Evangelion dub. I'm sure a lot more people will hear this Shinji in his voice, but
It's very Shinji.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
extremely.
Fair
and
enough.
now, you know what I want to hear is I want to hear an Evangelion dub with Shinji replaced by Doug Funny, because I do think that would be really good.
Yes.
Holy shit.
You know,
Doug was Billy West, right? Doug Funny.
yeah, the whole time, yeah, I think so.
All right. Shit. Okay. We got to talk to Billy about this. We're friends.
Does he have a cameo? Maybe we can do that.
Oh my God.
Billy, I'll give you $100,000 if you just do all of Shinji's lines.
I mustn't run away. That's basically Shinji already. It's the same. Okay.
I know.
All right. So they goof around. They're young. They're hormonal. They're just having a good time. They hang around the markets for a bit. Then they head back to the castle where Sheeta shows Marth a beautiful view of the ocean from her bedroom rooftop. We have a brief moment where Mars, maybe that's his sexual awakening, where he enters her bedroom and sees her bed and just starts blushing.
Yeah, that was one of those things where it's like, little girl's room.
Yeah. She calls him up to the roof. They look at the ocean. It's very pretty.
Even though it's like a completely bare room. It's just like
it's
room.
For a princess, she does not have a lot of worldly possessions.
Yeah, she doesn't have like a Teen Idol poster up or anything.
Yeah. It took me a while to understand. Like, I'm very bad with new fantasy stuff. New to me, that is. NBC, if I haven't seen this fantasy, it's new to me.
Okay.
Like kingdoms and continents and shit. And so anytime I watch something like this, I've got to take like notes next to my notes that are like, okay,
I mean,
the continent is Arcania, and this kingdom is this, and this kingdom is this. This is the kingdom of Talus. Sheeta is the princess of Talus. I'm sure if I played the games, I would know this already. This very much had the feel of like fucking Kingsglaive to me, where it's like, oh, this is supplemental, like, or I need to have watched or played something else to understand it. All right.
Well, I think it's largely fan service, but there is that opening narration at the beginning of the episodes where the guy explains everything to you. And it just reminded me of like cave dwellers from Mystery Science Theater.
Son of Flogmog, keeper of the 7 keys of Ventuzler.
Yes, that's it. That's anytime I sit down to watch fantasy shit, and I wish they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like when I did my big, love letter, my Landing on the Shoulders of Giants video, that was one of my criticisms of Chained Echoes, was like, it steals so hard from Xenogears that it even steals the super boring 12 screens of text at the beginning telling you this is the continent Blordorf and there's 3 warring countries on it. Blingo, Dubo, and Arcadia. Yeah. There's always one called Arcadia. And these are the main factions.
And games are still doing that.
Yeah. And it's
not just the indie stuff, but even like today's Square Enix stuff. Like, for example, any Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, it is the clumsiest, coldest way to set up a game. There are organic ways to convey this. You know how to do it. You've seen it done. Stop giving us text box after text box telling us about these kingdoms and the war.
Yep.
How about you fucking show us?
Yep. Please show. Please less telling.
Like, it's not even that. Like, you can tell, but try telling through dialogue that characters are speaking to each other.
Just less. That's all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like I don't, one character is not giving a history lesson to another character. I mean, like, I haven't had a good side of ham since the start of the war. I just wrote that dialogue. That's just right off the dome. You can have that.
Okay.
And it's free for anybody to use. Speaking of dinner, Sheeta, forgot we're talking about an anime. Sheeta then asks Mars, hey, do you want to stay for dinner? We're having stovetop stuffing. Oh, yeah. We then get an outstanding line read from one of the maids.
Princess Sheeta, madam wishes to see you.
Great. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It's like approaching Swedish.
Yeah, it's like Swedish combined with Irish by way of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Princess Sheeta, madam wishes to see you.
It's Minnesota-Swedish.
It's her impression of like her school teacher from back in the day, maybe.
I guess. I don't know. I love it. It's great. Marth accepts, but I'm just going to say Marth because that's what my notes say. I'm going to stop correcting myself.
We always vacillate. This is the nature of the beast.
do.
I feel like now we've done multiple shows with multiple different names per show, so whatever.
We are used to this. So Claude accepts, but then overhears a strategy meeting accusing Orisha of compromising their safety. So Marth is from Orisha. Sheeta is from Talis. And I guess the Talesian strategists are kind of putting the blame on Orisha for what's happening. So Marth is like, well, geez, I guess I better go home because shit's about to happen. So he starts walking home. He flashes back again to the time his father got betrayed by an ally and then owned by an evil mage named Garnif.
I have a couple of clips of this.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, we'll play this wonderful exchange with, again, another great line read.
So you are the Dragon of Darkness's pet demon. Prepare yourself.
Demon. This is the Supreme Priest of Kadeen, who was a spooky dude, who showed up earlier.
Yes. Earlier, he gave some great inspiration to a dying soldier.
Hold on, man.
It's always weird to me hearing these kinds of deliveries, not just, putting man in a very self-serious tone at the end of a sentence to indicate that you're old time. You're using it in the old-timey way, but it's hearing a king speak with a very American accent that just kind of makes me go, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on, man.
All right.
I love this guy, though. I love him. But in fact, there's actually an even greater line from the bad guy.
Never! Not a soul in Orisha will accept your offer. Prepare to die!
Yeah, that's one of those lines that I know what they were trying to do, but the way that voice mod works, it's only going to sound silly.
Yeah. But man, it works. I'm sorry, it works.
Oh man. Now I actually
it's one for the books, I think.
Yeah. I have a clip right after yours when Garnif just completely fucks the king up.
If you surrender to the Hura now, I will guarantee the lives of your people.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
And that's the end of the king.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex.
I'm here to help. That was King Cornelius, by the way, not an ape, but in fact a flesh and blood human being. Back in Orisha, Prince Marth is in a strategy meeting of his own to discuss the state of their allies. That was a flashback, right? The king getting owned was all a flashback? Or was that happening in real time?
I wasn't sure.
No, it is a flashback because he's thinking about this on the walk home, right?
Yes.
Okay. Back in Orisha, Prince Marth is in a strategy meeting of his own to discuss the state of their allies and what's to be done when a guard bursts in and says that Talis is on fire.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah. Marth and company race to the roof where they see Talis indeed on fire in the distance as Sheeta approaches in the sky on her Pegasus, which we saw earlier up in her bedroom.
That's right. She's a Pegasus person.
She says, "It's pirates! Please save Talis and my dad!" Yeah. Marth considers this for a second and says, "Well, sure. War sounds swell." And everyone excitedly goes off to get ready.
He definitely just made like a dramatic pause and said, "We will."
Yes, I was.
The time has come to fight for freedom. And indeed, it is Emblem time.
He gets out that famous emblem.
Yes.
I don't know anything about the lore. Over in Talis, fire, looting, plundering, murder, and panic grip the town, but never fear, Marth and the Orishan knights arrive to save the day. They're all there. There's the Weasley kid with the bow and arrow who's voiced by, he's whoever does Kensuke's voice from Evangelion.
Oh, man.
The nerd who sounds like this!
Oh my God, he was amazing too.
Yeah, I do like him.
I got another one later, but yeah, Jesus Christ.
There's also a guy, I don't know his name, but one dude is just a Gundam-sized brute. I like that guy. The huge man. Right.
Yes. There's Big Man.
Yeah.
There's a couple of swarthy guys.
Yeah, some swarth.
I mean, they're all there. They're all doing some Fire Embleming. It's great.
Yes. In the chaos, though, Sheeta gets captured by a goon.
Let me go! Let me go now!
Ananda, you brigand!
My hero! Beat him up, Mars! Clobber this creep!
That's some great anime dialogue. Right. That's really fun.
I imagine to you, hearing Shinji go, "Unhand are you, brigand?" sounds pretty good.
Yeah, a line that Shinji would never, ever say, because Shinji is just the wimpiest wuss who ever wimped.
Yes. It's maybe this is all Shinji's dream. This is him having his
Oh,
his
I like
hero
that.
dreams.
Yeah.
Shinji created Fire Emblem.
Oh, so it's like is this Chicago Hope? Is that what we're dealing with? One of those. It just exists in a snow globe.
It'll be our next bonus show.
Everything comes back to the bells. So Mars has an extended fight with this ruffian until he's finally saved by Oguma, who shows up. Sheeta and her dad are fine. Talus is saved, and the Orisha Knights are planning to ship off to Arcanea in the morning.
Yes, Oguma. Let's talk about Oguma a little bit.
Oguma.
Which I believe was it Ogma or somebody? I think it was just Ogma in later localizations.
Oh, okay.
He's the slicked back, blonde-haired hero guy.
Yeah.
Again, big pauldrons, if I recall. Yes.
Sure. The next day, Sheeta's dad gives the audience a convenient history of the Orisha Knights and their presence in Talus and basically tells his daughter, hey, you got the hots for that boy, don't you? So the episode ends with her flying her Pegasus out to Mars's ship and joining up with them.
Yes. But then there is a shot of like her showing up, flying aside the ship, and the men are cheering on, probably because Sheeta's the only woman joining them.
Yeah, it's just like 17 smelly dudes on the deck of a ship, and they see a woman, and they're like, whoa, yeah. Yeah. Great.
There was a kingdom to be saved and a world to be set free, the narrator says, as we close out on a kind of dingy version of the Fire Emblem theme.
Oh, what do you mean? How do you mean?
I don't know if you remember that in-credits song. It was kind of a version of the Fire Emblem main theme.
I didn't notice the dinginess. I was paying attention to the melody because I'm like, oh yeah, I think I've heard this in Smash Brothers.
Yes. Of course.
That's about how I remembered it.
Alex, our Smash Brothers representation here on the show today.
Yes.
Who's your main?
I was tempted to, when I sat down to watch it, I was tempted to post a picture of the cover of the anime and be like, sitting down to watch the Smash Brothers anime. Half the cast hasn't shown up yet, but it seems all right so far.
I think this guy's the Dragon Quest hero. But yeah, then episode 2 will be a retelling of like missions 2 and 3 in Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and none of this really has a satisfying conclusion, as we'll find out. Episode 2, Crimson Warrior. We open with 5 goons in hot pursuit of a long-haired swordsman. They chase him to a cliff where he has no choice but to take them all down with his amazing double sword work.
Wow, yes. Mystery Man. That's what I called him.
I just called him long-haired swordsman. We get a name eventually.
Yes.
Although I assume that if you've played the games, you already know who everybody is.
Yes.
Some bandits are watching the scene from the rocks, and they descend into the mountain pass and ask, hey, buddy, how's about we join forces? To which he says, not interested. The bandits meet up with a caravan carrying a priestess prisoner. Seeing this, the swordsman says, you know what? I've changed my mind.
Now, why would that be? Well, we don't know. But here's the opening titles with the lore dump again.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, remind us about Arcanea. I had forgotten.
Yeah.
Over in Galda, which I guess has already been taken by pirates. I think that's where Mars and the Orisha Knights are liberating next, because we have a panicked pirate running over to alert his friends.
Hey, you guys, there's strangers at the gate.
Great.
Now, I don't know how we just went 2 episodes of Draw Game before once again getting obviously not Scottish dock worker type guys, but there are 3 of these pirate guys, and they're all Scottish.
Yes. I have the clip. Hang on.
Hey, where do you scallywags think you're going? If you want to pass through here, you got to pay the toll. And if you don't have money, we'll gladly take your life.
My mother would be angry if I spent my life so carelessly.
I love
All
that.
Right.
Dude, the hero fanfare.
It's okay. I think that there are some Irish or Scottish listeners who can corroborate this or perhaps shed some light on this. Why is it when we, and by we I mostly mean Americans, when we do traditional pirate accent, it kind of defaults to either a regional Irish or a regional Scottish accent? I don't know Was that the predominant demographic of pirates back in quote unquote the day?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Why is that the one that we fall back to and the one that these voice actors fall back to?
I never understood it either, because like weren't most pirates from like the Spanish region?
Yes, but I guess they don't show up a whole lot in English language media.
Yeah.
I mean, every country with a coastline had pirates, right?
Right. I mean,
so like there should have been
the classical,
more.
stereotypical rendition. I think was mostly like Spanish in origin.
I guess
the aesthetic of it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's. I'm sure we'll get an answer to this on the Discord. Folks, chime in. Find our Discord. Come hang out. DrawGamePod.com.
I have a feeling who is exactly going to chime in, knowing our Discord.
We have several pirates on the Discord.
Yeah.
So Mars and company liberate Galda in a fun little scene. The Gundam man just bursts into a bar, and everyone's like, well, shit.
Right.
We're dead.
There's a fun scene with Gordon.
Who's Gordon?
The bow and arrow kid.
Oh, he's the little guy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he shoots a guy in the ass.
That's enough, Gordon! Let them go!
Let them all go? But Mars!
There's no need to go after those who fled.
Yeah, okay.
That's just Kensuke and Shinji talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure this is great for the Evangelion fans.
Oh, man. I love it. There's a fun dub versus sub difference as a pair of pirates jump into the sea during the attack.
Oh, yeah. Really?
One of them. I believe the Japanese, according to the fan sub, was "We'll be back someday." The English dub is just "I can't swim."
Okay.
Which is pretty good for a pirate.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Do you remember somebody recently unearthed the BBC dub of Urusei Yatsura?
No. Well, vaguely.
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
A couple years ago now. Yeah. And I just remember it's hilarious hearing a lot of very thick, and varied British accents doing anime characters.
Yeah.
One of the best things from that was a background voice in a scene. Somebody asking somebody, "Do you want to go for sushi?" And the response is, "I don't fancy Japanese food." The best thing you can put in something like that.
Yes. God.
Love it. And that's...
I can hear like the Hard Day's Night going on.
Did they do the music too? They changed it all to Beatles.
No, I was thinking of the movie, which is just like, the sort of clunky comedic segments of it.
But that's the vibe I got from "I Can't Swim."
Yeah,
pretty great for a pirate to say that. Mars is thanked by Becht, the village elder, whose daughter gives him looks, much to Sheeta's chagrin. We get some fun anime slapstick here. Sheeta's a little jealous.
Oh, I had to admit, at first I thought it was his wife.
Oh no, she says "Daddy." It's her. For some reason, she has a French accent. And I didn't understand that. Nobody else in the whole town has a French accent.
It's much like Lundo from Power Stone. Just everybody in one town. Okay. I missed her saying "daddy" at first, I guess. So yeah, but yes, I found out later. But yeah,
if you have a French accent, you don't say "daddy," you say "papa." That's probably what it was.
And if you have a French accent and you're a woman and you're in a cartoon, you're a sexy lady.
You are reduced to a fuckable cake. That is your role. So that's that. Galda is saved. Meanwhile, at the bandit fort, our long-haired swordsman has a nightmare of being attacked and wakes up in a panic. Over in the bandit mess hall, we get a couple of guys who are gossiping about the Knights of Eretia and the moves they're making by liberating Galda. One of them is doing a very good Walter Koenig.
Huh? The Eretia Knights?
Yes, I heard some of the pirates in Galda got their vessels scuttled.
They're that strong?
Really got their vessels scuttled.
Stepping back a minute, when Mystery Man has his nightmare, he wakes up in a panic and then slices his bed sheets.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, do not share a bed with this guy. No.
Yeah, but like he went from lying in bed to standing on the other side of the room, like cutting a bed sheet in half. It was very quickly.
Yeah. Well, he's a Ronin type, right? So he's very fast on his feet. Do you think that was Walter Koenig or the new guy who is dead now? What was his name?
Wait, what? Oh, right, that guy, that poor guy. Yeah. Yeah, my buddy Jason was telling me about that. Well, we watched 2009 Star Trek a couple of months ago. I was kind of disappointed because I like that guy.
Anton Yelchin.
That's it. He was fine. All right.
I'm just saying the younger voice actor in the anime reminded me more of Yelchin. Doesn't matter. Keep going.
All right. So a young bandit named Julian overhears this in the pirate mess hall. He finishes his beer. He sneaks off to the prison cells to smuggle food to the priestess, whom we learn is Miss Lena. The long-haired swordsman sees this from the shadows. I guess he couldn't sleep after his night terrors.
Yeah, of course. But also, why is he sneaking on him?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think it's when he asked to join up with the bandits, it seemed very obvious that, he disapproves of them keeping a priestess in a cage, and he wants to try to do the right thing by infiltrating the bandits. That's how I read that.
Right. So yeah, Julian is giving her some food, even though she's like in servitude to her god, so she'd rather fast and all that. I did think they had a deeper relationship, but no, he's just a disciple, basically.
It wasn't a religious fast. She said, I won't eat food that's been stolen from others.
Right, but it's like spiritually based. It's like a spiritual
I think it's just
ethics.
I mean, it's based in compassion, I guess. Like, I don't want to steal something I don't want to eat something that's been stolen. But then Julian's like, oh no, it's okay. It's my portion. And then she's like, well, then no problem. But like, it's still the same stolen food, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That also caught me. Like, wait a minute.
I guess she's hungry. Look, any excuse, I guess.
Typical Christian right. Just hypocritical.
Back at Galda, Becht asks Mars, please save Sister Lena. Well, now we know who Sister Lena is. Sheeta and Oguma are waiting outside during this meeting, with the former acting overtly jealous that Mars is inside with another girl Chan.
Yes.
Because
yes, of
Becht's
course.
weirdly French daughter is inside pouring them drinks, I guess.
I feel like if that scene had kept going on, Sheeta would have called her an old hag or something.
Yes. She's 6 months older than me. Oh, that old hag.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Oguma, while they're waiting outside, flashes back to the time he fell off a torture rack and was told by a young Sheeta,
Don't die. Promise me.
And this is all a guess because was he being tortured? Was that young Sheeta? I don't know. I've never played Fire Emblem. I don't know his backstory. And we kind of are. It's assumed that we do know.
It's assumed that we do know. And this is the biggest. I feel like that scene is the biggest fuck you in that vein, because like I have no idea what that was. It is not followed up on at all.
Yeah.
Could they have followed it up maybe if they made 3 or more episodes? I don't know, but what the fuck? It's just a little girl.
Like I'm not against cryptic backstory in that way. Like I kind of liked it, except for the line that she says. I feel like that pushed it over into silly territory.
He's just telling him to Gambaru, and that's like, okay.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with cryptic flashbacks for backstory. It's certainly better than 12 paragraphs of just text over your intro.
Watch out for monsters.
Watch out for monsters. Sin the movie. That wasn't his name. After the meeting, Marth emerges and tells everyone, all right, folks, hang on, I can't do a Doug funny. All right, folks, we're going to Devil Mountain Pass to rough up some bandits. Meanwhile, in Thunderdome, the bandits are enjoying some Coliseum-style matchups as long-haired swordsman takes down an armor-clad giant.
Oh, that was funny, yeah.
A merchant reluctantly pays up a wager to the bandit leader.
Before that, Mars says they're going to the Devil Mountain Pass, and then Sheeta says, but there's bandits in the Devil Mountains. I was like, well, not to mention the devils.
Yeah, it's full of devils. Chock full of devils. They're everywhere.
So yeah, there's the Fez guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he sells Fezes as well?
I don't think so. Okay. I think he does control the Fez market, and he doesn't want anyone else to have one.
Yeah, right.
Because no one else is wearing a Fez. The priestess is brought out, and the merchant starts the bidding. I guess he's really into priestesses. Julian slips away and frees... No, wait a minute. Hang on. This is where I was... This was my first point of confusion. I had 2 primary points of confusion in this show.
All right.
This is number 1. And this is just where I realized, Lena and the priestess are not the same character, but they're both priestesses.
Oh. Wait, what?
Because they bring out a priestess. A priestess is brought out and the merchant starts the bidding. then Julian slips away, and we cut to Julian and Lena having fled the bandits.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying. No, I think it's still Lena. It's just they fucked up.
But then how did she get out?
I know, right?
What the fuck?
I have no idea. Listen, this is funny. I also wrote in my notes like this long thing of like, what the fuck?
But then also, well, hang on.
Now, wait,
but the clothing was also different because the priestess in the cage in the mountain pass in the very beginning was wearing all white. And this one was, the one that was led in had like blue and white. There was blue over the priest outfit.
Well, let's step back a bit because
all right,
this does sort of play out similarly in the game, right? So like, yeah, they bring out the priestess and he goes out. And then, yeah, we cut to the outside where he's taken Lena and they're trying to escape. But she wants to get back. She wants to head back and get her staff of healing is what she calls it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, she'll need it. She'll be a useless party member otherwise. I mean, you don't want
That's right.
You don't want her just using vulneraries to heal. I mean, she's a glorified item mule without some range, right? But no, actually, this happens in the game too. Like she does forget her shit and is like, no, we got to go back.
Oh, fun.
But Julian's like, no, it's more important to escape.
Yeah.
And then they make it about 5 feet down the road before they're caught by the bandits. And
yes,
the mystery man is there. And yeah, he says, he's mine. And then he fights the bandits.
Yeah, this is my primary point of confusion now.
Yeah.
So we get, I think this is where we get the name drop. His name is Naval, the long-haired swordsman.
Yes.
He says they're mine. He cuts down the bandits. Naval then walks away out of frame.
Yes.
Leaving the two alone to continue unharassed.
Yes.
So then, why do we immediately cut to a wounded Julian collapsing in front of Marth's knights?
Yes.
Followed by another cut to the bandit's lair, where one of the surviving goons and Navarro are hanging out near the bandit leader when two goons walk up with Lena. What?
Something got lost in the shuffle here.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Scene missing.
When I... First of all, I got to play a clip of Julian trying to fight the pirate guys. All right. See.
Yeah, that was fun. That was some cute animation.
He's pretty stressed, but just embarrasses himself. But yeah, okay. So this is what I wrote. Like, cut to Julian wounded on the bed. I have no idea what's happened. Is this a put on? A potential double cross?
That's what I thought.
But like a second ago, I thought the mystery man let Julian and Lena go, but I guess not. It's just weird because Julian is also beat up now. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
I thought the same thing. I thought, okay, how do we rationalize this? All right, so Julian is faking it because Julian needs to make it look like Navarro took Lena by force, because I guess Lena really wants to go back for that staff. So Navarro took her back under the guise of recovering her as a prisoner so they could grab the staff. But Julian, just to be safe, has to make it look like he was attacked in case he runs across any other bandits. When it turns out, I think the answer is just scene missing.
Yeah, scene missing. Exactly right.
Where Navarro just beats up Julian and takes Lena back to the bandits. It's all right.
Craziness.
So, yeah, Julian wakes up. He begs Mars to rescue Lena. And so that's what we're going to do. Mars's knights approach the bandit lair and begin their assault while Mars himself, along with Julian and Sheeta, head to the prison cells where Lena is nowhere to be found. Yeah. While attempting to flee, the merchant, the Fez merchant carrying Lena tries to buy Naval off, but is instead cut down.
Cut down quite a bit, yes. And Lena's right there and she's a bit scared. And then...
You killed him!
Look at my hands. Look!
Huh?
Nothing up my sleeve.
Oh, by the way, my hands today are messed up. Look at my hands. Look.
Oh, yeah. You got
a bandage on my hand today.
You got bit or sliced or something.
Yeah.
Or both. I guess we're saving it for the show. I don't even know what happened. This is very exciting.
We're saving it for our different show.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
99% invisible.
Fez guy, I just called him, by the way, Fire Emblem Don Corneo.
All right, that works.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Fez Corneo?
Jontron Corneo.
I'd like to not invoke that name.
I only do it to make fun.
Sure.
Naval then runs into Oguma. This is after the chaos has ensued in the bandit lair. Naval runs into Oguma dueling the bandit leader and says, "Allow me." Bandit leader says, "Oh, yeah, sure. Be my guest." Naval draws his 2 crimson blades, and Oguma says something along the lines of, "Oh, I've heard of you. You're famous." Yeah, it's the name of the episode because he's the Crimson Warrior.
This is the wonderful exchange you're thinking of.
I've heard tales of a man who wields 2 crimson blades and can defeat an entire army.
Man of few words.
And I think we had the fan sub on the versions that we watched.
I didn't watch the sub.
What? I watched them on your Plex with the fan sub. What are you talking about? They're baked into the files.
I just turned the sub off.
I thought it was baked in. I thought it was just part of the.
They're soft subs.
I did not know that. Okay.
Okay.
But that line where he just goes, apparently that was an actual line in Japanese because the fan sub writes out a whole sentence.
All right, great.
Which is always fun.
But there's no mouth movement.
I don't think his mouth was on screen. It might have been obscured.
Oh, okay.
Something happens.
Yeah, that's right.
So they duel for a while until Mars and Sheeta run in. Sheeta breaks it up and says, "Naval, why are you a dick sometimes but not other times?"
Now, by the way.
Yeah, there's good in you, I bet. Hi.
His then localized name was Navar or Navara or whatever.
I thought they were saying Naval.
No, they do, but it became later on Navar.
Oh. Okay.
I was just saying that's like the most dramatic name change between the localization of this and the games, I think.
Oh, yeah, because Navar is like an actual name for a nondescript dude, and Naval is a fantasy name. I like when they do that. I like when that happens. Yeah. That's how we get Keith instead of Keith.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. Oh, boy. So Sheeta tries to talk some sense into Naval. Naval then realizes, maybe I am protag curious, and the bandit leader rushes him from behind, but is easily struck down.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Time to wrap it up.
We close on our army of heroes overlooking Orleans with Mars promising to rescue Princess Nina, which also reminds the audience, oh, right, there was a character called Princess Nina they mentioned in the first episode.
Yes, of course.
I believe she's a blondo. Yeah.
The narrator then says, "There were many battles yet to be fought, but not enough people bought this OVA, so we'll just have to stick to the video games from then on."
Very prescient because the sales had not yet come in when they recorded that. He just kind of knew.
Maybe in Japan they did.
Oh, oh, right. Okay.
It redubbed it. Really.
Wow. That's it. Look, on the plus side, 2 brief episodes. I am very happy to be in and out in under an hour. You know me.
Now we do have to ask.
Hi.
At the end of every episode, end of every anime we watch here on an episode of Draw Game, we like to ask, is it horny? And no. Not even the girl horny for Mars was horny.
Yeah. Even Girl Chan was just like, teenage jealous, but not horny.
Yeah. Or like Bugs Bunny and Drag kind of horny. Like, doesn't really.
Yeah. Like, remember.
Me.
I mean, Mars was really making out with that pile of dynamite with a wig on it, but who wouldn't?
That was another flashback. Or that was one of Navar's nightmares.
Flashback to King Cornelius yelling at his son for making out with a pile of dynamite. How can you be fooled?
It makes you look like a homosexual.
It's woman dynamite, Dad.
And I love her. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. Okay, yeah.
Duck season. Thank you for listening. Is there anything else? I think that's it.
How about some final thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
So I like Fire Emblem. I played a few of them, but
sure.
I haven't exactly finished all of them. And I don't love it. And so because of that, I was like woefully unprepared for this lore. Like all the character names I had to keep track of and stuff. But other than that, I think the fact that this had no game as precedent in America at the time means that you would get this tape at Suncoast.
Yeah.
And you just get like a bog standard fantasy story because you have no idea of what the game is.
Yeah.
Like, who is watching this, right? And
this was just anime for people who just discovered anime and want more anime to watch.
Yeah. And the dub, I mean, okay, a lot of Evangelion people, sure, but they really felt like they were just cashing a check. I felt like some of the line readings were good, but a lot of them were just like weird. Like The King, for example.
I think that's just what voice acting kind of was in the 90s. Was like, you're not doing Shakespeare here. You're voicing a guy with a magic sword or a kid who drives a robot. Like
Alex, I think that guy thought he was doing Shakespeare.
Oh no!
So you are the Dragon of Darkness's pet demon. Prepare yourself.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm kidding. But yeah. Demon.
It's...
What are you, Matt Berry?
I was doing a Matt Berry today playing Pokemon Crystal, doing the voice for Professor Elm. It's really fun.
Pretty good.
Because it's fun to pronounce Pokemon as Pokemon.
So, but you also have to factor in the fact that on the Japanese side, they didn't finish the thing anyway.
That's right.
So really, what is the American licensor really going to do to begin with? Like, they're just going to pay their bill and cash their check. Like, that's okay, fine. But it doesn't do any service to Fire Emblem, I guess.
I don't think that's the kind of thing you tell the talent. You don't tell them, this has no sequel. It just ends and then there's no more episodes.
Well, they would care anyway.
Yeah, like, I'm still getting paid, like, so let's do it.
Yeah. I did some poking around, and of course the diehard Fire Emblem fans were not fans of this either.
No.
One gripe that I found was that Shida in particular is turned into more of a tsundere type in this, rather than a character with purpose in the games.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she is still like a young girl, and in fact, in like the original Fire Emblem art, she's like looks even more young, like
yeah,
like almost a preteen girl as far as the art style goes. But yeah, and she didn't even really attack anything in this. Like, there's that shot of her coming in on her Pegasus, and it's just they just slide her across the frame.
Oh yeah,
and it's like several seconds of this shot of her just being slid across the frame, and I'm like, is this supposed to be dramatic? Am I supposed to be impressed? Like, you just are sliding her across the frame. And
oh boy.
Yeah, there's that. And also what people didn't like, and the same thing that we didn't like, was like the dozen flashbacks, and especially those few that go completely unrevisited or unexplained. I think Marth and Ellis, like at the beginning, that really isn't followed up on.
Yeah.
I imagine if we had an episode 3, we might get like another Ellis flashback, maybe, like, or something like that. But then there's that Oguma one with the little girl. Nothing. What was that even for?
Yeah, hang on.
At least with Marth and Ellis, there's a point.
I don't remember what I was saying during the episode, if I was saying Oguma or Oguma. I think the dub says Oguma. I think if it's supposed to be a Japanese surname, it's Oguma. I don't think it's supposed to be a Japanese surname. And I think you said in the games they later localized it as Ogma.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think it's probably it's got to just be, katakana Ogma.
Yeah. Listen, don't harp too much on my pronunciations, okay? Let's establish the fact that we don't know what we're doing, and that.
No, but it's like it's very much a Yakuza situation where like there is a way to say it, but that's not the quote unquote right way to say it as far as Joe Schmo is concerned.
But here's the thing, Alex, is that we are listening to a dubbed voice say one interpretation of the name. We have our own mental knowledge of Japanese.
Yes.
And that pronunciation, that's what comes through usually on my tongue.
And
then we have my knowledge of what the game is now calling the character. So any of those could come through on my tongue.
But like the reason that this one gets to me is because ADV, at least with the Evangelion dub, they had somebody from the Japanese side telling them, this is how you say these Japanese names. Because it's all Japanese names. This is how you say Asuka. This is how you say Fuyutsuki.
But Evangelion was prestigious.
I mean, I guess. But even way back when?
Yes, Evangelion was a hyped thing. People were excited for it to be dubbed or translated at least.
Fire Emblem, I guess, was not big. It was not big outside of Japan, but it was still big in Japan. Like, wouldn't they have tried to be like, hey, America, hey, ADV, take this seriously. Here's how Fire Emblem works. And they, I guess, not. They didn't want to just say, here's how you pronounce these, or I don't know.
It was $19.99.
Yeah, you're right.
List price.
All right. We were all freaking out over Y2K. We didn't have time to worry about this.
Anyway, just on the surface, surface. I think it is basically nice to see this story play out with like actual dramatic artistic fashion instead of just watching little sprites dash up to each other in open text windows. So
sure.
But like in the game, you then have to keep track of 20 people and the thing is barely started and you're just, I need a second, please. And it's just like, wow, Fire Emblem can move pretty swiftly. Hey, here's an idea. How about turn-based anime?
Yes, life comes at you fast. Right. At least anime, you can pause. That's my slogan for Suncoast. Oh, what? They're dead? Shit. All right.
But yeah, that's Fire Emblem. In conclusion, it was definitely 54 minutes of animation.
Out of all the anime we've seen, it's one of them.
Yeah.
Well, that about does it for us. Hey, go to our website, drawgamepod.com. It's a glorified link tree, but you don't have to know that, but you do now. So live with that knowledge. Go to patreon.com/NoMoreWhoppers. There's tiers there. Do you want bonus draw game? Do you like us talking about dubs? Would you like us to also talk about subs? Guess what? We do. There's a few episodes of that. There's even a bonus title bout episode where we rank every goddamn thing we've watched so far. Go check that out. Also, that's where the main show, No More Whoppers, is. You would like, if you like this strained marital relationship of ours in draw game form, you might like the raw, unadulterated thing. Go check it out. It's tons of fun. We have a Discord. We'd like to see you there.
That is right.
Talking about what you had for dinner, what you didn't have for dinner, what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow. We should have a dinner channel. We have a food channel. We don't have a dinner channel.
It's included.
And it's implied. Get on there, talk about games, new and old. We are also on the internet as individual people. I am at pitui.org. That's where all my stuff is linked. Pitui.org is also my blue sky. You can go to youtube.com and find my VOD channel, or my actual channel, which I think is just at Alex Fraioli. I have a new video up there as of last month, all about Chrono Trigger, and God, boy, howdy, we don't need to talk about Chrono Trigger anymore. It's my final word. Take it from me. Ray's on the internet.
Yes. My website is rdbaaa.space. All my links are there. rdbaaa.space is also my name on Blue Sky, in case you just want to follow me on social media and not want to bother with anything else. Okay, fine.
All right, that was fun. Thank you, Ray. As for you, come back next time for Panzer Dragoon. Until then, we discuss Pittsburgh's recent performance against Houston.
The Pirates were just too weak.